Divest stands for Dismantling Vessels with Enhanced Safety and Technology. Simply, it is a project funded by the European Community under Framework Partnership 7, which is the current funding program on research and development by the European Community. And the object of Divest, which is a consortium of 12 partners from 9 different countries, including countries as far as India, nearer us, Turkey, but also the UK, the Netherlands, Sweden, and other European partners. The aim of the project is to provide a decision support making tools to all the type of stakeholder involved or interested in the problem of dismantling. And Divest is looking at bringing all those together into a single database, which one will be able to approach from their own point of view to get some objective information about dismantling. You have 3 main techniques which are applied. The first one, and the most common one I would say, is the beaching technique, where you just drive a ship at full steam ahead and just land it wherever you are. This technique is used in Turkey. It's also used in India and Bangladesh. Then what happens is you bring mechanical tools to actually start dismantling the ship from the top down, cutting by hand with welders and bringing your workforce to the vessel. The second technique is alongside, so you would bring a ship on a quayside in a normal port facility, where again you would start cutting it up in horizontal slices, removing first of all the superstructure, working your way down, leaving then a small sole, usually about 10 feet above the water. It makes a sort of a thin layer that you can then drag onto the shore or lift. This technique is used in North America, in the United States, in Texas, Brownsville. There's a few yards using this technique. The third technique is more extreme in terms of technology, infrastructure. You bring a ship or an infrastructure of any kind, a platform, into a dry dock. The water is removed and you have a completely isolated environment where your vessel or your platform can be handled. Technically, this method would be the ideal method because you control as much as you are able to do. So these are the 3 main techniques that are used. There are variants, but this is the way it's done. A ship is a working asset. So when it comes to be dismantled, up until recently, you are bound to have oily residues, grey water, sewage or water that has been used for sustaining the crew. You also have hazardous materials. For old vessels, some of them still retain asbestos. Some of them have PCBs and all sorts. So for method 1, which is the beaching method, really in terms of environmental hazard, you have the way of dealing with oily residues or polluted waters whilst on a beach. Divest is not only a theoretical set of tools and databases. We are going to hold seminars and training sessions in collaboration with our Indian partner and Turkish partner, we hope, to get already some of the initial best practice documentation work that we have done back into the community. Not to go to India or Bangladesh to say, you're doing it all wrong, this is what you should do. Our approach is to document the best practice as it is defined by current legislation and ongoing work on the IMO Convention. It is to say we have looked at various aspects of this and this is best practice. This is maybe what you in your setup and within the constraints of your environment you could aspire to. So this is a really important part of our work, dissemination of the knowledge from an early stage. If we look at the Asian subcontinent, the Indian subcontinent, the workforce is an uneducated workforce coming from rural areas to get money where they can find it. So it really is a case of educating them, and through education they will change their behaviors, they will change their expectations, and in that respect things will start to change. Existing programs through UN organizations or others have already shown that through that education, not taking an arrogant approach, but really showing them, building their trust and showing them that we're here to work with them, not to take an activity away from them, but to help them do it more efficiently and safer, it works. So overall, my vision is that in 10-15 years' time, we should have an industry that is safe for the people who work in it, that is safe in terms of the environment, that is to a degree uniform around the world in the way it is approached, and therefore that is not this sort of black art that is currently in most cases the case, where people have no regards for those considerations.